The theme of our event here in Singapore was the Smarter Mobile Enterprise, and my keynote addressed the issues facing the channel partners today in Asia. It was an interesting time to do a presentation because on one hand, the Asian partners are doing better than anybody else in the world, and the Asian vendors are doing better than anyone else in the world. On the other hand, many of them are facing missed targets as a result of the slower than expected economies. I tried to motivate them and also point out that in a difficult market, they were still performing well. And indeed, our research on Candafero shows that the channel partners in Asia as a group are managing to grow 15% by revenue this year. Why are they growing so well? Well, because they're on the transition towards software and services, and the successful partners are investing in the new growth areas in the industry. Big data and analytics, which is affecting many industries. And I talked about an example from the farming industry where robots are milking cows and measuring the output of the cows every day in terms of the quantity of milk and the colour of milk is enabling the farmers to make better decisions. So big data and analytics is growing across multiple industries and having a big impact. Also very successful and very important is the apps and the growth of apps. And we are encouraging channel developers to recruit 3 to 6 channel players to recruit 3 to 6 developers to build out a little apps team and start doing apps for themselves internally and for their customers. It's a massive growth opportunity, a very exciting and a very margin rich one, particularly for the ability to lock in customers for the long term. We're going to see massive growth in wireless networking, particularly with the launch of 802.11ac next year. What that will give is 1 gigabyte of bandwidth to the client device and make wireless ubiquitous. Wireless will become the primary network, not the secondary network. The opportunity here for the channel partners is to scope out the buildings, design the wireless network, optimize, maintain, give security to these networks. And security is an issue everywhere for our industry, particularly with the rise of mobile devices. More and more mobile devices in a business means more and more risk. The consumers don't want to take precautions themselves, and businesses are struggling to manage this issue. The number one recommendation there is for channel partners to do audits of their customers and point out to their customers literally how many devices are accessing the network and what they are doing. Customers today, most of them don't have any idea. We talked about cloud. We tried to give some realism to cloud to explain the difference between the public cloud and the private cloud. Private cloud is going more quickly than the public cloud because it solves many of the issues related to security and compliance, which the public cloud is rather weak on and often challenged on. So we tried to take out some of the hype and bring the reality to that business. It is a growing business, but it's certainly not as big as much of the hype in the industry suggests. And then finally, we were trying to describe the changing world to the partners. Windows obviously still very important in this important time for the launch of Windows 8, but Windows less important than it used to be, falling to under 75% market share of the PC market. And if you put PCs and smartphones and tablets together, the share of Windows is now under 40%. That means if you send an email, for example, it's more likely than not that it won't be read on a PC anymore. And that's having a big impact on many industries, most notably perhaps Facebook and its challenges to generate mobile revenue. So our 900 partners here in Singapore, we think learned a lot over 2 days. They also did a lot of one-to-one meetings, made many connections, and we're very delighted because we've had a very successful event.